I'd actually go back to that.
27th, 2025. We can all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And may we have a roll call, please? Mrs. Boyce?
Here.
Here. Mrs. Burns? Aye. Over here. Mrs. Delaney? Here. Ms. Rod? Here. Ms. Mungo? Here. Mr. Ritter?
Here.
Dr. Singh?
Here.
Mrs. Corning? Here. Okay, I don't have any presentations, so I have any comments from residents on agenda items signed up? Executive session before. Oh, yeah, sorry. And it's written, look.
Yes.
Janet wrote it for me.
And highlighted?
And highlighted it. We did have executive session from about 5:15 to 6:05 to discuss legal and personnel issues. It's highlighted. She's colorblind. Yeah.
I was trying to get her attention.
Yeah, and I look right at you.
No, I'm good. I got it up when I was talking about waiting for minutes.
Okay. Yeah, we have no.
Unless somebody else.
Nobody signed. All right. Do we have any board member discussion items? Anybody have anything they want to shout out to anybody?
I have a couple questions. I'll do this really fast. Val, you had talked about cell phones. Are we going to have a conversation about cell phones or earphones before school starts next year?
We can mention it at the curriculum meeting because
We want to get in the calls.
we're working it into the handbook.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, at the May-in service, the junior, middle school and high school had a meeting to discuss that. So we're getting that information.
Good. Okay, so that's next week, so we'll have that conversation. I have a question. Do we have an iPad policy for the little kids about how much usage they have other than for curriculum purposes? Like, is there a restriction on how much time during the course of the day? Say it snows and they can't go out and recess. Do we have a restriction on the amount of time that they're allowed on those iPads other than for academic purposes?
I don't think we have it written.
So, well,
Teacher.
it's actually, it's the elementary building, they don't allow like the iPads at lunch and stuff like that. But like they can use them at home. They're restricted through our Wi-Fi on what they can see and can't see, but it's at a building level and, you know, like when my kid was in elementary is actually when we were in 2020. But yeah, they weren't allowed them at lunch and stuff like that.
Well, lunch is all messed up, but I just wondered if there's a specific, like, recess.
There's,
Because a lot of parents are now trying to control usage, and they just want to see if they're in line, and the school is backing this whole philosophy you see now about iPads other than for academic purposes. Is there any point where we could discuss this? Because this has come up, to me, as a topic which I hadn't really thought about before.
we've had discussions with principals about screen time. So that has happened. We've talked to them about that. We don't want unnecessary screen time either.
Yeah.
So,
I
but
wonder if we need to be more specific so we're consistent. Just at some point, if we want to have that conversation, just throw it out there to be consistent.
Your device is owned by the school, right? So it might be like teacher management.
Yeah. Right.
Middle schools and high schools can take their iPads, whatever, to lunch. Am I correct?
In the middle school.
Yeah.
they're with them in high school with the backpacks and
Yeah.
But not in the elementary, but not in the elementary.
Yeah.
Not in the elementary.
No.
It's a similar usage issue, cell phone, earphones, iPads. It's a conversation that's sort of integrated together. So it's just something that came up, and I thought, it's true. You know, do we have a specific policy?
you know, the PSSAs are going online, so there's going to be time that's needed to.
I'm not, that's what I said.
I know, but there's going to be time to transition to that too. So that's a whole other thing we have to add is that piece of the state testing.
That's academic based. I'm talking if they use it for something else. If it's not outside and they're inside and they can't go out, are they allowed to use the iPad just for fun?
I think that does vary, but I think there are restrictions. We encourage play, game-based play, board games. You know, we do encourage that as well.
Okay.
Any other board members have any discussion they want to bring up?
Yeah.
No? Okay.
Financial reports.
Thanks, Mrs. McBride. Item 4.1, list of bills May of 2025. Item 4.2, financial statements for April of 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Janet.
Mrs. Boyce?
Aye.
Mr. Bobo? Aye. Mrs. Burns?
Aye.
Mrs. Delaney?
Aye.
Mrs. McBride?
Aye.
Mrs. Mungo?
Aye.
Mr. Ritter?
Aye.
Dr. Singh?
Aye.
Mrs. Warren?
Aye.
And minutes from the previous meeting.
Will make a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And personnel.
Thank you, Mrs. McBride. Item 6.1, leaves. Recommend acknowledgement of the personnel who are on or will be on leave per the parameters outlined by the Family and Medical Leave Act. Item 6.2, employment. Recommend approval of the 9 individuals listed for the positions listed, noting that 2 of the positions are permanent, 1 custodian, 6.2.1, and 1 is teacher, 6.2.6 for the upcoming school year. Item 6.3, supplementals. Recommend approval of items 1 through 4 for individuals listed for the supplemental positions at the rates listed. And item 6.4, volunteers. Recommend approval of the 1 individual listed as a volunteer for Evergreen Elementary.
So moved.
Second.
Does anybody have any questions on personnel?
Do you have enough paras and everything you need for ESY?
Yes, so we are fully staffed for paras. We did reach out to one of our staffing agencies for a nurse and to our other staffing agency for 3 teachers that we still need. But other than that, we are fully staffed for ESY.
Well, you said 3 teachers?
3 teachers.
3 teachers. Is this what we were,
No, this is for ESY, summer school.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Just the Bocce coach stuff, that was the post stuff that we realized that was missed before, right?
Yes, it was.
That was previously grant funded.
Okay.
Any other questions? We have a roll call, please.
Mr. Bobo? Mrs. Burns? Aye. Mrs. Delaney? Aye. Mrs. McBride?
Aye.
Ms. Mungo?
Aye.
Mr. Ritter?
Aye.
Dr. Singh?
Aye.
Mrs. Warren?
Aye.
Mrs. Boyce?
Aye.
Resolutions? Education?
Thank you, Mrs. McBride. Item 7.1, approve into science grades 3 to 5 for adoption. Item 7.2, approve the marketing and strategic communication services addendum. Item 7.3, approve the EduPlanet renewal. Item 7.4, approve the agreement between Gateway School District and the Allegheny Intermediate Unit. Item 7.5, approve the agreement between Gateway School District and Adelphi Education Services. Item 7.6, approve the agreement between Gateway School District and Devereaux Turtle Creek Valley. Item 7.7, approve the independent contractor agreement between Gateway School District and Kara McGoey. Item 7.8, approve the proposal for System 123. Item 7.9, approve the MOU between Gateway School District and the AIU for Title III Consortium grant initiatives. Item 7.10, approve the following individuals for a SAVIS virtual conference. Item 7.11, approve the before and after school academy programs for the 25-26 school year. Item 7.12, approve policy 217, graduation requirements. And item 7.13, approve and accept the PA Smart Grant in the amount of $450,000.
So moved.
Second.
Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, you're going to explain at our meeting for curriculum and equity about like what system 1, 2, 3 is, for example, and how all those things flow together. Because I know we keep adding, like we have Turtle Creek Valley, MHMR, and how they all work together. So
Yes.
you'll have clarification on that. Okay.
Any other questions?
One other thing, 7.11. Once we approve this tonight, you're going to send out something to the parents to find out who all is interested, right?
We're not, they are.
They are.
Yeah, we'll help facilitate, but this is a third party.
So as soon as we say okay, then you'll get a handle on how many kids we're talking. Okay.
We have a roll call, please.
Mrs. Delaney?
Aye.
Mrs. McBride?
Aye.
Ms. Longo?
Aye.
Mr. Ritter?
Aye.
Dr. Singh?
Aye.
Mrs. Warning?
Aye.
Mrs. Boyce?
Aye.
Mr. Bova?
Aye.
Mrs. Burns?
Aye.
Number 8, administrative resolutions for business.
Thank you, Mrs. McBride. Item 8.1, approve the 2025-2026 final general fund budget in the current amount of $98,174,381, which is 25.2718 mils for the 25-26 fiscal year. Item 8.2, approve the homestead and farmstead exclusion real estate tax assessment reduction for the 25-26 school year. Item 8.3, approve the final cafeteria fund budget for the 25-26 fiscal year in the amount of $2,676,377. Item 8.4, approve the Allegheny Intermediate Unit Services Guide and Special Education Services pricing for the 25-26 school year. Item 8.5, approve the Forbes Road Career and Training Center 25-26 proposed general operating and administrative budgets. Item 8.6, approve the Tri-Cog Land Bank's notice of proposed property disposition for one Monroeville property located within the Gateway School District. And the district does not object to the proposed disposition of the one property. Item 8.7, approve the following donations for the 2024-25 school year. Dollar Bank, $100 for students at Gateway Middle School Career Fair. Municipality of Monroeville, $100 for students at Gateway Middle School for the Career Fair. And item 8.73, Wilson Candy Company, $5,855 for students and families for the backpack program district-wide. Item 8.8, approve the disposal of old equipment, furniture, and various other miscellaneous items that are no longer serviceable for the district. 8.9, approve the district's sale of obsolete and damaged technology department equipment to AGI Repair. Specific quantities and conditions of devices are based on orders returned from students and staff. Item 8.10, approve the use of facilities as listed.
So moved.
Second. 8.10.2, did you, what's the total we're going to receive?
I'm sorry, what was that?
For the baseball, softball,
Oh.
usage?
That's what,
What's the total?
I'm going to interrupt.
Good.
Depending, as this says, we're doing 125 per game. So depending how many games that they are playing. So if they're rained out or whatever.
Yeah.
And they will be billing them weekly, am I correct?
Right, we're gonna start going on weekly.
And then however many custodians we use for their games.
Okay, I know that.
I think you're asking what's a plan number, even if we don't know that.
John, do you happen to know the number of games? Or they haven't yet?
We actually get the games on a week-to-week basis, depending on where they're maneuvering their teams. So it does vary. Like a good example was last week that we had no games at our facilities. What would be 2 weeks ago? Then this weekend we had a full roster. So it does vary week to week.
So based off the dates that you have here, because I can pull out my calculator and kind of figure it out, but I figured you had a number if we had beautiful, perfect weather. After all these dates here, what are we looking at?
The other thing I really have to go off of, because it changes with their internal structure, is what we did last year. And last year we received almost $40,000.
Okay, and we had some issues last year. Have those issues been addressed?
They have been addressed.
So we don't want us to have to pay for any additional damages that have occurred to our beautiful fields.
Right.
John, aren't they also having to pay upfront a fee, which we didn't do with them before? What happened with that?
We
Am I-
actually received a $5,000 deposit for any damages would be to the field, which is being held till the end of their season.
And then you'll itemize based on what you see. So this
Correct.
$125 per game is on top of the $5,000 that you've already gotten.
This is correct. This is correct.
Okay.
And they paid a repair fee for last year, right? They paid to do the repair.
I think they got us the.
And the pitching
They
mound.
got us the
helped with,
pitching mound and,
Okay.
and they're working also with them, something with the rubber and the,
after games, they're gonna help with the surface.
Okay.
what we
Surface
learned
prep.
last year about the surface of the turf that we,
To like keep
yeah.
have to shuffle the little black pellet.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
things you didn't know.
No, things we didn't.
John, as of July 1st, you're still having that new policy, right, on how we're handling all this? Is it still July 1st?
We're going to try and present it to the board in July. We got a little bit behind. It's just been a little bit of a crazy spring for me. But I'm hoping to meet with the internal staff and a board member or two to discuss the options that we have laid out on the table to see if they're even reasonable enough to make it through the board.
Okay, so before, the whole point is before next school year, we will have that to peruse. How much do we get, like when we say approve the district sale of obsolete and damaged technology equipment? Do we have a clue what we might get in the way of dollars and cents? We don't know.
Micah, can I help answer that? Micah, you want?
Yeah, so they give us a range of amounts they would give us. It would either be class A, B, C, D, or F. So as the devices come back, they get evaluated and then they get classified into one of those buckets. So one laptop that's in good condition might be $300 to $400. One that's in very poor condition might only give us, say, $100.
Okay, so you're not going to necessarily until the end of the school year and everything comes into you know what we're talking about.
The exact amount, no, we don't. However, all the staff units are all kept in cases, so we expect those to be in pretty good condition. The
Okay.
student devices, they are in cases, but they also get a lot more wear since students are carrying them around constantly. So we don't anticipate them being, say, category A, but we do anticipate maybe category B.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I wanted to go back to the baseball.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all, I'm not a baseball fan, so I didn't realize you
Neither-
played more than one
neither.
game in a day. So that's why my numbers were so low.
Yes.
Because we came up with $3,000.
We say everybody can start at 8 in the morning through.
Through 8 at night.
I wasn't thinking that way because,
I think there's lots of different teams who all play in the league.
yeah, I just thought it was one game a day.
No. Are you still going to give us a breakdown of the tricog?
Yes, I have it right here.
Oh, you have it. Ooh, okay.
Today, Tri-Cog Land Bank took on 23 properties for Gateway School District. They've sold 17, they're back on the tax rolls. 6 they are in the process of repairing, and they're in the process of being ready for renovation to be sold. And in addition to that, they're in the process of trying to acquire 2 more properties within Gateway School District. So 17 out of 23 are back on the tax rolls. And I emailed them for a further breakdown of the cost to acquire them, what they have into it. And and also in addition to that, they invited everybody on June 12th at 6:30 in Homestead. And they're gonna, I guess, be a nice meet and greet to go talk to them and see exactly what they do for. I plan on attending. I think Mrs. Warning's gonna be there too as well.
Mr. Bowden,
Just to
you
get a
coming?
feel for what they actually do for us.
Oh, sorry. I asked Mr. Bowden if he was coming.
Okay.
I went to one of those a while ago. I mean, it was very nice. It was
Yeah.
good to have everybody see my face and see them and just find out who are the players behind all this. But that was like 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago, so I'd like to go to that. And Mike, if you could, I don't know that you can, could you characterize, these houses were worth almost zero, and then some work and some money went into them. They were built up, and then they were sold, 17 of them were sold. Were they sold at a real high price because they were really well fixed up, or a
Actually,
medium price,
some of them
commensurate with the neighborhood, or a little lower price?
Well, she's getting that information. I know she said some of them were sold for commercial property, some are rental units. But just to back up, when they start out, she said it's the worst of the worst, because what's owed on them, they want to go and sheriff's, so they're starting out with some pretty nasty homes or whatever to start with, to put money in to get them refurbished and get them up to date, to respectable, to even sell them. So it's a process.
I think it's also a judgment call, because you don't want to put a whole lot of money into
Right.
a house where the rest of the neighborhood is medium priced. Because then, it'd be very difficult, or vice versa. So whoever does that has to, think it through and then decide
Exactly.
how much to put in, and how much of an upgrade to do, and what landscaping to do, et cetera, so that it can sell, and when it does sell, it can stay occupied.
But it's better for the community, it's better for a municipality and for us and for Allegheny County.
Thank you.
We're in Homestead.
Any other
I have a
questions?
couple things. First of
We're in
all,
Homestead is,
1705 Maple Street.
It's in your email.
I'll send you the email.
You already sent it. You sent it.
You
all.
sent the email.
I sent the email.
You
yeah,
sent
I
the
saw
email.
the email, I
Yeah.
just wondered where that was.
I don't
Is this some kind of a, I know the AIU is
It's
in
an old school.
Homestead.
It's an old school.
It's a what?
It is an old school that they use the building.
Oh, okay, so you're familiar with it. Okay.
Jack, you have a question?
well, the question this morning
Hi.
asks again and again is, that's all true and good. What does Gateway pay into this? Yes?
Correct.
Right.
So I know we can't do a real return on investment because
Right.
there's a long time frame. This is the long game, but people should at least get to know, what have we paid into this? Understanding you can't.
Off the top of my head, it's been about 20,000 a year we pay into this.
For how many years?
But, because they get a percentage of the real estate taxes for the first couple of years, and then we get it all. If
Delinquent
it's a
tax.
delinquent real estate, they get 5% for the first couple of years. Then once it goes off the tax, off the delinquent status, then we get it all.
The question, I think, with Mr.
Yes.
Bova, correct me if I'm
No,
wrong.
this is your question.
Yes.
Yes, I'm just saying, what is our return that we're getting from the property?
Well, once it finally clears all the fees, and then it's up on the tax roll, and the delinquent taxes are clear, then we get it all.
And how much is
And
that?
it's monitored, well, whatever will be whatever the assessed value of the house is, because the delinquent tax that they receive comes from Myra Weiss's office, who collects our delinquent real estate, so they know what's involved in that.
Well, what happens if we're not in it? Then we never get the taxes?
If we're not involved, in it, then they can't participate and do it. They need all authorities, the county, Monroe municipality, and the school to participate. If we would pull out, then they couldn't do it. Is the way of explaining
If
it.
somehow we cease to exist and they continue the
Right.
program, we'd still get the tax revenue, of course.
Because,
Already done property, because they were
Yeah.
already in properties.
Right.
but you're looking at it from the investment end of it too. I mean, we're investing, but then
Right.
how are we profiting?
It takes a while.
Get
It
some
takes-
more.
He's been told.
It takes a while.
Well,
It's a worthy conversation,
Yeah, I mean-
understanding that you have to look
Yeah.
back perhaps 10 years.
Yeah.
We've been involved with this
What we put in.
for quite a
what we got
while.
out.
yeah.
So Mike, can you give us maybe a report? Maybe we could ask for a report.
When we go that night, we'll find out more information.
When you say 23 properties, is that within the last, how many years, the 23, or is that this year? This year?
No, it's been a couple of years.
We've only,
Started this.
Yeah.
so 23 is,
We've been a long time.
Yeah.
So I remember Mr. O'Donnell
Yeah.
wasn't
All
even
right,
on
so
the
if I
board.
may paint this brush one more time, that is, if we only focus on the one house, and we ask the question, are we getting a return on investment for the one house?
Right.
Then we're gonna get a single answer. However, if the whole rest, if we don't chip in a little, and the rest of the neighborhood degrades, and then it cascades out, then that has an effect on the whole district. So whatever the equation is when we figure out, when we ask the question, what's our return of investment? It's gotta be multi-discipline in its answer, not just single focus.
John, another question I talked to Mr. Zarellis about was the people that they bring in to do the work. Is it like, our co-stars or something like that, that it's an approved whatever, approved contractor?
Forest Road Career Technical Center.
Okay, that would be great. But what I'm saying is, we don't know who they're bringing in as far as who's.
Yeah, but they're just selling the
I like
house,
that
so.
question, Val. That's a solid question. I like that.
Thank you, I try.
Jack, you said you had a couple of
Yes,
questions.
one other thing. So 8.1 is the budget,
That's where I was going.
which we've been talking about now for
5 months.
5 months, public meetings, lots of you folks have been diligent in showing up. You have heard the explanation of how, I think our budget increased 3.4 something percent.
3.8 million. The percentage, yeah, I'm sorry.
It's in that ballpark.
Right.
So our budget, we went up 3.4 million. We had multiple meetings where board members and the public had a chance to weigh in on that increased expenditure. Anyone could have stood at the podium and said, why don't you cut money here, there? We got maybe 4, 5, 6 emails. I don't think I heard many board members saying, I'm opposed to this. We need to cut this, we need to cut that. I don't think I heard maybe any of that. Someone could correct me. But we're going to vote tonight on the budget. And so I've been doing this stuff for like 20 years. A number of times I've been in budgets, meetings and then budget season when no one has an objection, but when it comes time to vote, they vote no. And they vote no because it's pretty cute. They know 6 or 7 or 8 other people are going to vote yes, so the budget's going to pass. But they get to vote no and then say, oh, I never voted for a tax increase. I never voted for this inflated budget.
Right.
And I'm just going on the record and saying, that's what we call crap. It's a lazy, cowardly thing to do.
I back you up. I want to say to Mike, you gave us more information than I even anticipated, especially when we did the common level ratio.
Well, thank you.
That was an awesome presentation.
Thank you.
And no, do I want to spend more money? Absolutely not.
Right.
But it is what it is. We don't have that mall to save our lives anymore.
Or the convention center.
Yes.
That's off the
So
rules.
I agree. We've had months of discussion about this.
Yeah.
And if you're going to say no, okay, you have that right to say that. But give us a solution.
So let me just reiterate what Jack and Robin just said, because it's on my notes right here, the same sort of a thing. So some of the board members right now are about to vote no.
I don't know that to be true, by the way.
I'm
This is a general
making
thing.
this up.
Right.
This is how I make things up, and I walked through the logical outcome, yeses and the noes. So some of the board members are going to vote no. So in the past couple of weeks, when you brought up the alternatives, were you satisfied with the responses that the rest of the board members gave? No, because you didn't bring anything up, we couldn't respond to it. So that leaves us sort of in the dark, like Jack said, a little frustrated. He used a different word. Leaves me frustrated. So I'm about to vote yes on this. Now, let me ask the public the same sort of a question. You know what your taxes raised. Could you name the teachers and the programs and the bus numbers and the meals? Could you give us solid information whereby we can take a close look at it and make a good cut that would do well for all? No, nobody has done that for me. So all the other board members, there's 8 more of us right here. When the people sent you lists of the things that could be cut, what did you do with those lists of things that people sent you that we could cut? What did you do with them?
Didn't get a list.
Nobody sent it.
So we didn't get
That's our
any.
frustration.
We're gonna have a discussion.
All right, so that,
Can I say something
not
too?
yet, not yet, not yet.
All right.
So
Well,
we
when
didn't
you're
get
done,
input
tell
from
me.
the citizens, we didn't get input from the board. So here's an alternative. We could just wait. We could say, let's abstain, let's wait a week and a half, because we know in a week and a half, we know we're gonna get really good input from the citizens in a week and a half. Then we can vote on the budget and still have it done in time for everything to pass. But why a week and a half? Why not 6 days? Why not 30 days? Why not violate the law and not vote to accept a budget like the state representatives and the senators do when they're required to pass a budget and break the law? They break the law when they do it. Why don't we just break the law and not pass a budget? In other words, all of that is nonsense. So if all of that is nonsense, waiting is nonsense, being diligent and doing the right thing and biting the bullet, that's the right way to go. And we don't have input, we don't have a better way to go, and this is not gonna be fun, but it's the right thing to do, so let's do it. So I'm gonna vote in favor of this, and I won't like it, but it's still the right thing to do. So now, Cheryl, you have a question.
Yeah, I have a letter in front of me. What we're doing, we're trying to be proactive because there's a lot more things going on than just Gateway. There was inadequacy gap funding. This letter went to legislators, and I just gave Dr. Rossi a list of people on the House and Senate Education Committees that are part of our problem.
Right.
And we're going to pursue this because I'm tired of them getting away with it. You see us first, but they're at fault too. If you're going to say it's all us, no it isn't. Because we got $0 for that adequacy gap funding program, unlike other districts that got money. And I'm talking millions of dollars went to other districts and we got nothing. I'm also tired of the fact that we are constantly having to refund money back to places like the Monroeville Mall. Millions of dollars in tax dollars because our assessment system is messed up. We give, I mean, we were just talking about busing. We bus kids to Timbuktu, and we have to fund that. So there's a lot of things that the state legislators have got to get their act together. And we are sending letters out to these people. You were at Advocacy Day. John was at Advocacy Day. They went to Harrisburg to talk to people, and we're going to continue to send letters. This letter can be modified a little bit to go out to every person who's a key person on those education committees. And that one gentleman who is the head of the House Education Committee is also on the Basic Education Funding Commission, which is part of our problem. So, who did buttons, yes. So,
Well, Cheryl, in addition to that, you and Val are both on the buildings and grounds, and our buildings are, we have one new one and 50-year-old, 6 others.
and we're really blessed because our administration does, in defense of our administration, they try to get grants. Like the grant, and they do. But a roof costs more than the grant. I mean, you keep getting grants left and right, but a roof costs more. And if we're going to do the roof, we got to do it right. And John's trying to really evaluate this stuff, and we got to do what we can do. Our elementary buildings need things done, and University Park's going to get a new roof this year.
All right, so I'm happy to be unhappy about this, but Cheryl, you brought up, we look like the bad guys now because we're the school board, we're the lowest on the totem pole, and we get to raise taxes. Well, why don't our state representatives and state senators send some money to us so that we don't have to raise taxes? But if they would do that, they would look like the bad guys. So they have figured out a way, and it's beyond me to understand how they do it, but they look good because they're in favor of education, they're in favor of kids, they're in favor of teachers, etc. But they're not giving us the money we need. And so the school board has to step forward, say, okay, we're going to take the arrows in our back, we're going to stand up and do the right thing, and then we get hammered for it. Well, it's our job we're getting paid to do this.
No, we're not.
Our state representatives and our state senators, not just one or two of them.
They are.
Both sides. I went to John Delano about a month ago at the AIU, and we had some folks just say back and forth on the stage, all the leaders, yeah, it's a big problem. We don't talk to each other, and we don't have any movement. And so this year, we're not going to have any movement again. Have a good night. Go home. Again, it was just surprising that they know that that's what's happening and they let themselves get away with it. So I wonder, is there anything we can do to hold them accountable? And I haven't been able to think of anything.
I think we become their worst nightmare. We're elected officials, so are they. Not going to Harrisburg all the time because they're closer. I think we write letters, we do phone calls, the community needs to do that.
Cheryl, I hate to agree with you, but you're right.
I've done this for 30.
Okay, we beat this up a lot of different ways. I know we're all, we're ready to vote now.
Well, I just wanted to add one more thing. people here in the audience, we all participated in a school board forum where people got to ask the ones that are trying to be elected for school board for the upcoming year. And there wasn't a budget question really during that forum, but there was, how many social workers do you have? How many psychologists do you have? What are you doing for our students? What programs are you bringing in? You know, what can you do for this? And all of that costs money. And then the same people at the forums or that participated and went out voting, also you hear complain about raising the taxes. But you gave me a list of 15 things that you wanted in our buildings. And then in the same less than 30 days, you are wondering why we're raising taxes. And, you know, this administration, I just want to echo whoever, I think you did, Cheryl, whoever said,
Have you heard this before?
they came, they had community
Mike, have you
meetings.
heard this before? Yeah, okay. We're not really saying anything new here, but it's time to vote, and I think we should go ahead and vote.
Can I just say one thing? Being involved in a lot of organizations in Monroeville, Pitcairn, I've asked people, you know, their thoughts because, you know, I'm on the fence too. Our last meeting, I voted no. And you have it, people that I work with, that I'm involved with, their children are all grown. Why should I be paying school taxes? I don't have kids in the school. What am I benefiting from? Then I have on the other hand, which our district is becoming older community, even though we're getting more kids in. Well, how do we pay for prescriptions? How do we pay for our needs, that are everyday needs? Where's that money coming from? I'm on a fixed income. I take the look of that older generation. I'm falling into that. I mean, sorry to say it's happening. I can't get my husband to retire because he's afraid, because that check that he's always getting won't be there. You know, we're gonna have to, you know, figure something else out, which, you know, is fine. But just for instance, a friend of mine is on a prescription medicine. She doesn't have the, what do I want to say, the greatest insurance. The medicine was $2,900. I get the same medicine and I pay $300. But then, looking a little bit deeper, when my husband was in the hospital, they said, oh, we have this card for you. Use this card. It cost me $10. What was $2,900 down to $10. So why don't they, other people involved, it's just not always the state, but it's there.
Exactly. There's a
So-
lot of foul play out there.
There is. So, I mean, I'm looking at the people that says, oh, my roof is leaking. I can't afford it. Insurance is, you know, not paying for this because it's not covered. So that's the look that I take. And, you know, I will be voting no as I did before. And it passes, but that's my voice. I look at,
This is a wonderful debate, and I appreciate your honesty. My problem, and this is a 20-year-old problem, was for
Correct.
5 months you had a chance to say, Mike, find us 3.4% worth of cuts. This is a simple equation. Money comes in, money goes out. If you don't want to tell those folks that we have to raise taxes, what you have to tell us is what aren't we going to spend the 3.4% on? What aren't we going to fix? Are we not going to get the new roof at University Park? Are we not going to have the additional kindergarten teacher? Again, Val, you know, I appreciate all the work you do. I couldn't admire it more, but that is exactly the crap vote I'm talking about. Not once did you say, no, that might get that out. We need to cut that one. Let's cut 2% here. Let's cut, not once in all these months.
I'm sorry to jump in, but it will be repeated again next year. Because if there's an issue, then we need to start looking at the problem and making the cuts that need to be made.
So I had a resident say to me, I read this great article about Penn Hills in the Post-Gazette a week or two ago. Oh, they've turned their financial ship around. They don't have a tax increase this year. Aren't they doing great? And I thought, son of a gun, and I read it, and I thought, and I said, hey, wait a minute. Their millage is 30 point something. So their millage is 25% higher than ours. So, okay, great. They managed to get a year without a tax increase, but it took this long. So this is a simple equation. Some equations are complex. This one's simple. If you don't want to raise taxes, you have to tell that guy right there where you want the cuts. Dr. Rossi, Dr. Chady, go find us 3.5%.
So Jack, would you be okay if I asked Val if we would delay for a week or 2 weeks? Could you come up with a 3.4 cut that we could all approve of?
I can't come up with a street, I can't come up with a cut.
Right, that's not our job is to direct them.
Right.
We come up with a
You can't, none of
3.5%.
us can, which is why we have to step
I
forward.
mean, everything is increasing. I mean, everybody wants to run that.
Period.
So you've got to live on something that you can afford. I mean, we're getting hit in Monroeville with the municipality is raising their taxes. So it's a double whammy for the residents of Monroeville that own property. So
They're
that's,
raising their taxes, but they're limiting our tax at the convention center.
Right, because they know it.
Because we're, yeah.
So, as a senior citizen who's been on a fixed income, and my husband's been retired for 6 years, and who takes medicine that is just as expensive as that, and that's a consumer issue, and that's a conversation for another day. But here's the reality of the situation. Until the state, which by the way, some states do not tax senior citizens on their property. That is not Pennsylvania. Again, I go back to there's multiple people responsible, and it's just not us. And we can start cutting this, but we also, Penn Hills, we keep getting their students because we now have, 25% special ed kids?
Close to it.
We have 25% special ed kids at $42,000 a kid, where kids come from Penn Hills to us because we have a better program. Do we want to cut that? I have a special needs brother-in-law. No, I don't want to see that
All
happen.
right, so I'm changing my position. I'm gonna vote no on the budget. And I recommend all the other school directors vote no on the budget.
That's just going to prolong the inevitable.
No, it'll fix it. It will drop at 3.4% if we vote no on the budget. It will automatically drop.
But then,
It will or it won't?
Just let me, to Jack's point, just real quick, and I hope I have the right numbers here. Penn Hills is total basic ed, adequacy, and special ed was 2.4 million. Ours is 248,000. So right there is,
So they get an additional $2 million and their millage is 25% higher. And this isn't about Penn Hills.
so we try to compare other, we do compare other schools where our neighbors are getting 2.4 million and we're getting 280,000
We're getting a drop in the bucket.
million.
They're getting the bucket.
and how many special ed kids do they have? Do you know? Can you see that?
I don't have that here, the number of it, yeah.
We were higher
Well,
than
that-
all the
It goes back to the state funding formula is broken. They are trying to fix it. They have made gains last year. There is a lot more that needs to be done. You know, the whole adequacy funding where we get $0 based off of 2022, Mike, numbers with ESSER funds. It's very complicated, but that's how they're doing it. We spent the money. Some schools may have deferred it. That's not calculated in the formula. That's probably why we're not getting any adequacy funds.
Yeah, we're rolling over like almost $4 per student, so we went above and beyond to educate our students to spend $400 more, which we didn't know at the time, so then we got penalized for it. Schools that fell right underneath that guideline, then they got the money. It's straight across the board, there's
We
no,
got hammered for doing the right
we
thing.
got hammered.
John did say it best when he said he's going to vote yes tonight, but he's not happy
Right.
about it. And, I had conversations with
Just some-
people where I was wavering because it is, again, the 5th year. We all live, every board member sitting here lives in Monroeville or Pitcairn and pays the same thing that everybody out there is paying.
And I was going to say too, and let me weigh in just a little, I agree with Val on many points, maybe because it's an age factor too, but at the same time, and I did weigh in on maybe where we could have cut here or could have cut there or appropriated and done things a little differently, because that's always a concern too. Because I'm looking at it, I don't want to see programs cut. I don't want to see teachers cut. See, I'm looking at it from the educational standpoint too. But I'm listening also to residents who've said to me, why are you raising taxes? And of course you can come up with several reasons, other than the cost of living, but several reasons why things are going to just cost more, and we're taking the brunt of that. But again, how many years do we keep doing this, and then, again, they're gonna look at us for doing it, and that's the unfortunate part. But I understand, it's not like I don't understand, like all of you have your opinion with it. But I have to also, I've been on the fence with it, almost sleepless nights, because I just wasn't sure which way to go with it. And I'm not gonna tell you until we vote.
I'm sorry.
You were gonna say something else?
Yeah, I just want to say, if you don't raise taxes, and I hate to keep beating it up, but the Coleman ratio is killing us. Our assessed value right now is $30 million less than it was last year at this time. So if you don't raise taxes, it's already $670,000 in a home to get back to where we started. So this,
I
but
know what you were
the only
saying
good,
also about
the only good
fund
thing
balance,
coming out of
too.
all this, last school year, we gave about $6 million in refunds. This year, we're only up to $1 million. So hopefully the Coleman rates are starting to settle down for, but school districts have a lot of commercial properties getting killed on this. School districts have a lot of residential properties like, they're not taking the brunt like we are.
Steady.
Because our revenues
This
going
is
down and costs going
this is
up.
the opposite of Robin Hood. They're taking from the poor and giving to the rich. It's the best way to sum it up. It's starting to stabilize some of, we have enough properties coming on to offset some of them, but right now we're not keeping up with it. Maybe down the road in 2 or 3 years when they get the mall developed, however they decide to do that, that's gonna be a big plus. But right now, we're dealt with the hand that we're dealt with, and we just have to deal with it and come up with the best solution that I can think of to keep a strong fund balance, educate our students, and do the right thing.
With a balanced budget, because we
With a
can't run a deficit, we're not taking
Right.
out another bond.
Right,
Whatever
I don't
income
wanna
we
do
take
that,
in
right,
is
I don't wanna
revenue.
put you in debt for no reason at all. If we can just survive, get through it another year, maybe things will go settle down, the legislators will give us more adequacy funding. Dr. Rossi and Dr. Shaky done a great job getting grants. So, I mean, we've been working at this a lot. I mean, we've been brainstorming for 5 months on every solution we could think of. But we have to educate our students, that's why we're all here.
We believe you, Mike. We know that. We know
Thank
that.
you.
You've been working really hard to try to get the budget.
Thank you.
And it's just impossible. Now it's our turn to step up and do the impossible. Go ahead and vote.
Anybody have any other questions on any other section of 8?
Not that, one more statement, John, intergovernmental.
Well, wait, on 8, let's get through this vote, and then we'll hit that under the board.
Well, no, it relates to this. We need to have more action with the municipality because we don't know what's happening with the mall and stuff. We need to be in front of them, working in conjunction with them, and they don't ever have meetings that we go to, right? Because they just don't have meetings. Do we all need to show up and say we want to be part of this process so we know what's happening to the mall?
Committees, Cheryl.
Pardon me?
They have committees.
Yeah.
They have a committee?
They have committees, correct.
Right, but he's intergovernmental and they don't have, they have meetings where we can come and talk to them?
You can go to their regular meetings and suggest it and request it.
We can set one up.
We need to talk to them. We need to be actively involved in what's going on with Monroe,
I've
not
had
just let it to
conversations
them.
with Alex a couple times about the mall.
Yeah, well, I think we
But
all need to know what's
Yeah,
happening with that.
I
too.
agree.
I just have one other on 8.7.3. When I sent this to Mr. Zarellas, his response was, how sweet of them.
Get it?
I get it.
Get it, but
It was nice of you.
I could tell the one you told me today, I'm not sure.
Oh,
Any other questions in section 8? 8.1 through 8.10.2. Okay, Janet, can I have a roll call, please?
Mrs. Burns. Aye. Mrs. Delaney.
Aye.
Mrs. McBride.
Aye.
Ms. Longo. Aye. Mr. Ritter.
Aye.
Dr. Singh.
Aye.
Mrs. Warning.
No.
Mrs. Boyce.
Aye.
Mr. Boba.
I don't have any board member resolutions. Do I have any comments from residents on non-agenda items? Anybody sign up? Nobody up there?
Just to mention again, on next Wednesday, the 4th of June, there will be a curriculum and equity committee meeting here in the boardroom. And just an interesting Black history fact, I always like to find those. Ernest Gideon Green made history on May 27th, which is today, but that was back in 1958 when he became the first African American to graduate from Little Rock Central High School. And maybe some of you, that seems like a long time ago when I was living then, so it doesn't to me. So just wanted to put that.
Thank you. Administration reports.
All right. Mike, you just want to hit on this again one more time?
Okay.
The homestead.
Just for the residents out there, this is the homestead farmstead exclusion. You have till March 1st to get it in for your 2026 taxes. Basically, it knocks off $18,000 your assessed value. And we only have, which is crazy, we have 12,000 residents, and between Monroeville and Pitcairn, only 7,700 are receive the benefits from it. So there's 5,000 residents out there to not participate in this. So anybody you know, the form's online, it's at the library. Get a hold of me, I'll be glad to get one. If someone needs help filling it out, it's pretty simple.
We tried to mention this in the last couple meetings, and we'll incorporate it in our newsletters, at least to go out to our families, but we want to make sure we're providing those resources to our community. Okay.
Congratulations, Dino Natarevic, two-time state champ. He brought home the gold in the discus and the shot put.
So last week we was at WPAL, and then over the weekend we're trying to look back and see this is in both the discus and the shot put, which is awesome. So
Not only that, it was a wonderful article about him in the
Yep,
Post-Gazette.
there was.
His family story is what used to be the American story. I think they were from Herzegovina, Bosnia. Came over when he was 10 years old, couldn't speak English, just hard work. It's just, in fact, I wanted him here. Maybe we'll have him here. It's just the best story.
I will work on that.
Just
but
the
yeah.
best.
He won the shot put, state shot put championship by 1 inch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great story.
90 feet.
Then also, congratulations to our teacher, Isabella Condi, WTAE Teacher of the Month.
Just aired today. And just, we'll talk a little bit more about this at the equity curriculum meeting, and just wanted to give a shout out to Ms. Mungo for passing this reference on to us. The feedback has been outstanding. I had 2 or 3 teachers on the in-service they stopped me and said it was their best field trip they've ever taken the kids on. So you can see it's a little mini town. Kids got to interact and do some things or some lessons. It was a great experience for the kids. So
They're always looking for volunteers.
Where is that located?
I think it's in Bridgeville.
yeah, so it is busing to get to. It is
40
about an
minutes
hour or
after,
so
yeah.
bus, yeah. But it was well worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
Just a reminder, campus will be closed June 9th through the 15th. US Open parking at the high school.
But not for spectators, if you're a spectator, you're to park in the mall.
Yeah.
Say that again?
Spectator parking is not here. They're using it for parking, but yes, if you have a ticket, that parking is at the mall or Heartbreakers.
Yeah. University Park also will be closed beginning June 5th, hopefully August maybe, 1st of August for the roof. We just want to make sure no one's even on the campus because there'll be a lot of machinery there and a lot of work to be done with the roof. And then just a reminder, graduation is June 3rd at 7 o'clock at the stadium. Tickets are needed for admission. However, additional tickets are available to school office. So we know that some families need additional tickets. It's not a problem. They just need to contact the school office. So looking forward to that. Hoping for good weather.
And I don't think we had any committee meetings in the last week.
Leslie, could I just say something to Robin about those pictures up there that those kids draw? The top right corner, you can see that there's something on that young man's mind. If the girl left to him, she wants us to ask her what's on her mind. She's got that piercing spirits. Look at those eyes. The bottom right corner, that guy, he seems like he wants to say something funny. And then the one in front of Jack right there, she knows something and she's not telling. You know? And so look, the kids have found a way to express, you know, the reflection of other people's thoughts in their artwork. Jack, everything that I do looks like a stick man. Congratulations to the kids. I mean, we like your art.
I just want to say to our administrators, thank you for a great year.
Yep.
Yes. Keep up the good work. We'll keep holding you accountable.
Thank you.
Buck stops with you.
Yeah, I got it. I know.
Just one other thing, Dr. Rossi, I brought my iPad, that flyer and postcard you had put together, are we voting on those?
Nope, that was just for information.
Just FYI?
Yep.
Can you flip that information? Like in the flyer, where the logo for the district is, you start out by talking about extracurricular.
The flyer's gonna be one.
It's gonna be folded.
Yes, it's gonna be a pamphlet.
Right.
Yeah.
So the top part is with the logo. No?
That would
They're
show.
gonna send us a
Yeah,
proof
just
of
like-
it. We'll make sure.
I think we should
Yeah.
always lead with academics. It looked like the way it was set up, it was gonna lead with extracurricular. It looked like those sections. Double check and see, it might be the way they're gonna pull it.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Everybody.
Good night.